Alan and Naomi, Chapter 24. They walked back slowly. Naomi didn't speak, but she glanced at Alan from time to time as if to make sure he was still there beside her. Again, Alan had the eerie feeling that he had seen or known a girl like her before, with large dark eyes like hers. The edge of a thought flickered. It had had something to do with the Nazis, something to do with a roundup of Jews by the Nazis. Wait a minute. Wait. Then at last, Alan remembered. He had been watching a newsreel at the movies, the one that had made his father weep. There had been a girl with large dark eyes, a girl being forced into a truck by Nazi soldiers. She had raised her head and looked right at the camera for a split second. Her face had been Naomi's face. Her forehead, her eyes, her sadness. There had been dozens of Jews being forced into the truck to be sent to a concentration camp. But that girl had looked straight at Alan, and Alan had twisted in his seat, wanting desperately to help her. It couldn't have been Naomi. It had happened in Warsaw, Poland. Yet it was Naomi. The newsreel seemed to Alan to be happening here, to be happening now in Queens, New York. That truck parked down the block could just as well be a Nazi truck, he thought. That gray building could be Gestapo headquarters. We could be walking home in Warsaw right now. We could. It would be Sunday, everything nice and peaceful. She's wearing that green sweater, just like now. The sun is shining, just like now. And that truck moves slowly up the block and stops in front of us. And we get pushed into the truck. And no one knows, and no one cares. Who cares about anything anyway? Crazy Cat, Frenchie the Nut, that's what they call her. Her father stood up to the Nazis. He was a hero, and so was she. So was she, tearing maps until her hands were covered with blood. Alan suddenly remembered the map of New York in the hallway, the map with the red lines, all the scraps of paper, all the tearing. She was trying to save his life. All that time, she was still trying to save his life. Naomi hesitated at a street corner. A police car had passed down the next block, its siren screaming. She looked at Alan, frightened. "It's okay," said Alan. "Just the cops chasing themselves around the block." Alan took her hand and held it as they crossed the street. Her hand felt small in his. It made Alan feel good, like an adult, a heroic adult. He held her hand for the next entire block. Then, balancing his plane and repair kit in his free arm, he began to swing her hand back and forth higher and higher. Naomi couldn't help smiling. Quick as a shutter clicking in a camera, Alan thought of the dark-eyed girl in the newsreel. He was holding her hand, and for a fraction of a second, the dark-eyed girl smiled too. Then the shutter closed, and she was gone. Alan swung Naomi's hand up and over their heads and around in a circle and another, like a Ferris wheel, releasing and holding, up and around, again and again. And Naomi was laughing and crying out, "Arrete, you are crazy, Alan, help!" And she was better. She was laughing. She was herself. She was Naomi. They were here in New York City in Queens, and the Nazis were gone. Alan started flying the plane in front of Naomi. He put the plane through barrel rolls and looped the loops and then flew it backwards. Naomi tried to catch the plane, but Alan flew it out of reach. "Can I fly it?" she called. "Keep it up," thought Alan. "Keep it going." "Gotta catch it first," said Alan, teasing her. "Can't catch a yellow bird." "Oh, oui, I can." "Okay, let's see you." Naomi raced after Alan as he ran with the plane over his head. Then he suddenly stopped short and made the plane swoop down and land on top of her head. "Ran out of fuel," said Alan. "Crash landing. Sorry." Naomi started flying the plane, making it dip and rise above the pavement. But as they neared the store with the train in the window, Alan noticed that she purposely flew the plane out to the curb. She was clearly trying to avoid that window. She held the plane up high and flew it along the edge of the sidewalk, over the parked cars. When they stopped for traffic at the next corner, Naomi continued to fly the plane in little circles above her head. It was then that Alan saw Sean a block behind them. He must have been following at a distance. Alan blinked and stared at him while Naomi, unmindful, kept flying the plane. Sean walked towards them, then hesitated and stopped. Okay, Silverman, Sean called. What? Alan called back. You'll see what. Naomi turned. What is matter? She asked Alan. I don't know, Alan answered. Come on, let's go. He took her by her arm and led her across the street as fast as he could. Sissy, called Sean from a distance. Alan kept walking with Naomi, his fists clenched. Why did Sean have to sneak around like that? He was a sneak. Crazy cat, Frenchie, sissy. The hell with them all. He could walk with anyone he wanted to walk with. Anyone. Alan, please, you are angry at him? Asked Naomi. Yes. What did he do? He called me a sissy. What is sissy? Is it like coward? I can't explain. You are angry also at me? No, of course not. Alan took a breath and forced himself to speak calmly. I'm not angry at you, Naomi. I just have problems like everybody else. Don't worry about it, okay? I am sorry. They had reached the Oak Terrace Arms. Alan pushed the door open and walked with Naomi through the lobby in glum silence. Why was he so angry at Sean? Because of the sissy business? No, he wasn't a sissy. Sean could call him that till he was blue in the face. It didn't matter anymore. It was just that Sean was so great sometimes. So great. And so damned stupid other times. Like now.